Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Wolong Fallen Dynasty. I'm the Serious JG, playing, of course, as the Anjin San, or whatever the hell we're called in this game. So I have returned us to the realm of the next plot mission, where we have Zhang Fei and Liu Bei as our buddies. And I kind of forgot what the story is right now. That's probably not a great way to start this thing. Oh, Lu Bu has seized the castle of Liu Bei because Zhang Fei got drunk. I think at the end of the last video I was talking about explaining that, and I don't remember if I did explained it or talked about it. So let's just actually do some gameplay here.
Stay sharp now. Beyond here is a real nest of demons.
Stay sharp. Literally, the reason we don't already control this castle is because you got, like, blackout drunk. I don't think I told the story in detail, actually. We could probably do it again now, and basically, Liu Bei warned put Zhang Fei in charge when he and Guan Yu went off to do something, and warned him, hey, don't fuck up. Don't get all drunk. So Zhang Fei swore that he wouldn't mess up. And then on his first night running the castle, he said, all right, officers of the castle, none of us may have any alcohol starting tomorrow. So let's have one final banquet before we start the no alcohol. We're going to have a dry January here, but let's get super trashed right before. And he's going around the table, like basically doing drafts of beer, equivalent of doing shots. And to one of the officers, he's like, "All right, do a big old gulp off of this wine." And the guy's like, "I really don't want to, sir. I'm not really a drinker." And Zhang Fei's like, "Come on, do it." And he's like, "All right, I'll just have one." And there's like, "All right, there's a good boy. There's my boy. Come on, all right." And then they go all the way around the table, and now Zhang Fei's coming around for the second pass. And it's like, "All right, have a big old hit of wine." And the guy's like, "No, I really don't want to." And Zhang Fei's like, "Come the fuck on, man. Have wine. What are you, too good? Too good to drink with Zhang Fei?" And the guy's like, "Okay, but I really don't." He had some more wine. Finally, they go around for the third pass, and Zhang Fei's getting, like, really pretty trashed at this point. And the guy's like, "No, look, sir, I really don't want to have any wine." And Zhang Fei's like, "I'll teach you," and he just, like, beats the shit out of him. And then his other officers are like, "What the fuck are you doing? You can't do that." And then the guy himself is like, "Please, I'm like Lu Bu's second cousin or something." And he's like, "Oh, you think I'm afraid of Lu Bu? I was ready to stop, but now I'm gonna fuck your shit up." And Zhang Fei beats the guy near to death. So then some guys who didn't like Zhang Fei in particularly anyway go and report this to Lu Bu. And Lu Bu's like, "Oh, huh." And then one of Lu Bu's advisors is like, "This is a really good excuse for us to take the castle." So Lu Bu and Lu Bu, who's like an ally of Liu Bei's, and is, in theory, is an officer under Liu Bei at this point, because it's kind of weird. Lu Bu is like on the run after murdering Dong Zhuo. Li Zhui and Guo Si, amongst others, want him dead. He just is like, he goes to seek refuge with Liu Bei, and refers to when Liu Bei offers him refuge and says, "Hey, you killed Dong Zhuo. That was a great service to the whole country. We all owe you. We all owe you thanks. Please, please rest here with your troops." And Lu Bu's like, "Thanks, little brother." At that point, because this is earlier, this is when they first meet up. At that point, Zhang Fei and Guan Yu both are like, "You just called him little brother? Fuck you. We're gonna murder you right now." And Liu Bei has to talk them down. And Guan Yu, he's able to convince to get calm. with words. But Zhang Fei's like, no, seriously, I'm gonna fucking murder this asshole. And Lu Bu is actually afraid of Zhang Fei in the book. That's not something that any Kohai interpretation was ever going to show you. But in the book, he's afraid of Zhang Fei because he remembers the... Zhang Fei was the only guy who had the guts to ride out and challenge him at Tiger Trap Gate, or whatever the hell the name of that battle was, which turned into the 3-on-1 showdown of when Guan Yu rode out to support Zhang Fei. It had the best line in the whole book. Bastard with 3 fathers, I am Zhang Fei of Yan. Because, you know, Lu Bu killed his adopted father and then killed his other adopted father. So he's a bastard with 3 fathers, blah, blah, blah. Anyway. So, what was my damn point with all this? Yeah, Zhang Fei gets all drunk, and one of Lu Bu's Lu Bu's like, huh? And one of Lu Bu's advisors says, no, you have, like, a really good, like, nobody will blame you for seizing the castle now, because your family was insulted, like your friend was attacked and all that. Like, yeah, I'll seize the castle. So Lu Bu and his men seize the castle in the night while Zhang Fei and his officers are all, like, drunk from Zhang Fei's, like, last banquet before everyone was going to have their dry January. And Zhang Fei rides out in shame and offers to, like, you know, take his own life to atone. And Liu Bei is super mad at him, but then tells him, like, no, you can't throw away your own life. How will you ever live up to our oath if you throw away your life? And then another famous line from the novel: women and children are like garments that can be replaced, but a brother is like a limb. How can I replace a limb once it's been torn away? Which is not the most progressive line in the novel, but it's part of it. The idea that his brothers are more important than his wives or his children. And, I don't think Bobo's listened to the series. That's not intended as some kind of, like, secret signal to Bobo, by the way. It's a thing that actually happens in the book, and it's pretty fucked up. I'm thinking there's some kind of monster, secretly lurking around here, because why else would there be all these corpses? Oh, it's one of these jerks. I think we've got it, though. Yeah. Oh, and we can level up, too. Might try to keep us alive and get to it. We avenged Secret Agent Scoob. Scooby! Found a golden cicada shell. That's probably the main thing you're meant to get over here. Because this place does feel pretty optional. Feels like a thing that'd be super easy to, like, if you came back, if you finished most of the level and you came back here later, after you'd already finished the level and your morale level was high, that would be super easy. And at this point, it had morale level of 8. You can probably get to it when your morale level is down around 1 or 2. So, yeah. But anyway. Zhang Fei, Liu Bei he's super mad at Zhang Fei, but he does forgive him. He says the thing about how children, you know, wives and children are like clothes that can be mended, and her brother is like a limb. And they all weep together. And then Liu Bei rides back to his castle, and Lu Bu, and this is the great thing about Chinese culture and Chinese literature. Lu Bu offers to return the castle to him and says, "Oh, this is all a misunderstanding, brother. Of course I'll return the castle to you if you ask." And Liu Bei says, "Oh, no. No, I wouldn't ask you to do that. You just go ahead and rule this place on my behalf." And it's all bullshit. Lu Bu was never going to actually follow through with that. Like, I don't get why he makes the false offer. I don't know exactly what he says. He probably says, like, I think if Liu Bei actually tried to collect on that, Lu Bu's advisor would probably say something like, "Yes, we will be able to hand it back to you within a few weeks. At this point, our, you know, there'd be something like, Oh, at this time, in order to avoid disrupting the lives of the common peasants, let us, postpone this action. But of course, it is our intent. Like, there'd be some bullshit reason, like, but it's like everybody, including Liu Bei, is mouthing all these niceties that they don't mean, which is just this. I don't want to say. I don't know if it's uniquely Chinese, if it's Asian. It's a cultural thing that would not happen in a similar. It's unlikely that it would happen in a similar political, military rival action involving like Western noble families. And it's part of what makes the book really fascinating to me is there's things about what's happening that are universal, and the things about what's happening that are very specifically like Chinese. Anyway. I'm trying to be trying to talk about this without accidentally coming off racist in some way. It's like saying, "Oh, the Chinese are duplicitous." No, it's a culture thing that was really interesting to me reading it. Like Chinese readers reading this also know that they don't mean anything that they're saying. It's part of like an old archaic form of Confucian courtesy, which is just kind of interesting. But anyway. But ultimately, Zhang Fei is forgiven for his misdeeds, and that is really the next time in the novel that you hear about him getting drunk is.
Safe to say Cao Cao has taken a liking to you, brother.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no way he'd come out this far, leading his forces himself.
Enough, Ida. As things stand, we are once more wanderers with no domain. How do you think we can fight against Lu Bu without Minister Cao kindly allying with us?
Your modesty knows no bounds, does it? Surely it wouldn't hurt to say it as it is. Though, I suppose this is part of why you're bound to end up our era's greatest hero.
Shut the fuck up, Yude. I think I'm not sure I really followed the thrust of that conversation. Liu Bei always made a big deal of being modest and magnanimous. And at this point, yeah, he is very much at the mercy of Cao Cao. Like, he is not powerful enough to retake his own castle from Lu Bu, and he's going to work with Cao Cao eventually to do it. Despite the fact, like I said, despite the fact that there's this whole thing where Lu Bu has, in theory, offered to return it to him. But ultimately, I think Lu Bu gets driven out of that castle and takes another castle. Like, Lu Bu obviously doesn't survive till he dies less than a quarter of the way into the novel. And it's like, I'm assuming, like, if you've watched all my content, you know from the various Dynasty Warriors Let's Play, Lu Bu meets his end fighting a coalition. It's basically Cao Cao's army with Liu Bei and his officers are part of it too, but it's Cao Cao's army that takes Lu Bu down. And I was trying to wrap up the story of Zhang Fei, who like Liu Bei, is now running in place at the top of some weird jungle shit. The next time I remember the novel talking specifically about Zhang Fei getting wasted is much later, and it's involved, like, it involves Zhang Fei's final defeat and death, which is presented as a tragedy. Zhang Fei is, for all of his failures, he's one of the heroes. He's a good guy, and you're not meant to be happy when he falls. But that's much later on, because he kind of does clean up his act for a long time after this. And without spoiling more of the grand novel and events that probably happen, at the rate this game is proceeding, Zhang Fei should be around until Wolong Fallen Dynasty, either the DLCs at 2 or possibly Wolong Fallen Dynasty 3. It's going to be a while before Zhang Fei is gone. But, like, the reason he's getting drunk is we're a little sympathetic with his situation when he decides that he needs a drink the next time the novel gets into him really boozing down. He cleans up his act pretty well after this whole fiasco. That dialogue of, like, Zhang Fei joking about how Cao Cao must really taken a liking to you, brother, I'm not sure I get what that's about at all. Other than Zhang Fei maybe seeming excited that Cao Cao and Liu Bei are allies, and maybe communicating what Liu Bei is more sharply aware of than Zhang Fei is, which is that Cao Cao being a Cao Cao's ally means being a subordinate of Cao Cao's. Cao Cao is not going to tolerate someone being as powerful or more powerful as him. Cao Cao takes people like that out. Because Cao Cao, like, it's a Highlander situation. There can be only one. And their alliance fighting against Lu Bu is the last time that Cao Cao and Liu Bei will really be aligned. Because we're kind of foreshadowing an event that this game may or may not show. Where once Cao Cao has kind of taken over in the north and become the main ruler, Liu Bei will be an officer kind of in Cao Cao's court. And Liu Bei will figure out that he needs to find a way to get the fuck out, or he's in trouble. Let's not keep talking about that stuff. I need to actually concentrate on the game. I think I need to take this wizard out, because he will be a problem. I'd like to get to the next big save point and level up, rather than backtracking to the beginning of the level and respawning everyone. Because you don't respawn enemies behind you the first time you touch a pillar. Yeah, I don't know why the sneak attack trigger wasn't coming, so I just figured I'd hop up and take care of them. See if we can get a little closer and figure out which way this guy's facing. This is interesting bit of map here. Can't quite tell if we're meant to be able to cross over there or not. Does look like we can come up behind this guy to get him. I'm dead. Don't smoke. Yeah, it's helpful that these guys have apparently terrible fucking awareness of where their enemies are. I've got put some points into stealth, but not to the point where like it should be impossible for anyone to detect me when I'm not even like trying to hide my presence. Looks like we've got a shortcut back to the beginning of the level here. Kick that shit down. We saw a tree from the other side of a chasm. This doesn't feel that secure, because that looks like it's burned out on the inside or something. I don't know. It looks like it's actively still red hot, actually. Element of staunchness. So I think what we're doing is sneaking back into the castle that used to be Liu Bei's. I'm not that sure. Oh, that's unfortunate. Looks like the okay, this isn't the direction to sneak into there if we have a choice.
Mere thieves. Demons are the likely culprit.
Uh-huh.
We cannot delay any further.
We've been facing
we must
demons.
Reclaim our territory post haste.
You don't really tell me the rate at which to work, friend. I was literally reaching for my mug of tea when he said that, and I felt no need to rush based on his words. That's bullshit, man. I snuck up on him. Oh, but if they haven't aggroed this guy, it's fine. It's actually lovely. Oh, perfect. Just perfect. All right. Oh, crap. I guess I do have to reach. So hitting it doesn't respawn enemies, but I don't get the level up option without having... So, yeah, never mind. All right. Well, I was obviously working on Wood Virtue. We'll just work on it again. I'm a little curious now, what wizardry spells am I trying to learn under... Because I'm at 25. Heaven's Rage we haven't unlocked yet, nor have we unlocked Perfect Restoral. Barbed Nightmare 40 is probably what we're working towards. Deal damage to enemies and restores the HP of you and nearby allies for a portion of the damage dealt. Because that just looks like a thing to... Yeah, anything for working getting your allies taken care of. And I've seen what I think is the same spell used by enemies, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to evade, and depending on your morale and the morale of your enemies can be pretty damn devastating. It does feel like against bosses it probably does like nothing, or they just like avoid it and break it somehow, even though it's an area of effect. Area of effect is good against bosses in this game that are like big giant room filling bosses, but at the same time, like our best area, like my favorite area of effect spell has been the Poison Bog, which seems like a decent chunk of the demons are immune to because it's metal. I'm enjoying this game. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. The very small number of people watching this series, I hope you're enjoying it. But I occasionally get pretty frustrated, but like since discovering the allies mechanic, this game is just so chill compared to Neo. Like the same basic gameplay, but it's a lot more relaxed. So probably you don't get as much respect for playing this game, but I don't know how much video game respect I need. Like, if you're enjoying this game series, you either enjoy my, like, I've had one or two people in the comments, and who knows if they're even still watching, earlier videos saying they kind of dug that I was providing a little bit of, like, knowledge of the background of the characters. Which, yeah, I guess the game doesn't tell you everything about all these characters, but it's sort of telling its own version of a story that I've read in translation, the actual story. Let's put it that way. And, like... It was an interesting run that he had going there. But he had that thing where he was connected with a unit, yeah. Well, where the hell was I supposed to go? Another one of these areas where... And it was the Lu Bu boss that kind of forced me to really look into the allies mechanic, because even the guides on how to beat him easy, or how to beat him if you're not... Like, they all were like, telling you to use allies. There must be a way we're supposed to be able to get up there. I wonder how we're meant to get up there. Is there an opening underneath the house? Doesn't seem like it. Oh. Gotcha. This path probably would have allowed me to do all sorts of cool, sneaky stuff if I had found it earlier. Except that, never mind, now I can't figure out how to get up here. Okay, so, which of these is the path to which? Obviously there's one of these that I can get into, and then I'm skipping around rooftop to rooftop to the rest. Assault on Later is not even showing me a flag I need to get or anything over there. I'm going to assume that falling into that water there is death. It seems like you would climb up on the... Okay. I tried that like 10 fucking times, and now it finally works. I guess I'm glad it worked. So I don't want to, like, bitch, but... Don't want to just jump down there without really knowing how I get back. The answer may be... just jump down there. Certainly I can get back the way I got here. I just, you know. There we go, treasure. Rank 7 steel, that's worth getting. Alright, that's probably all that you get from coming up here. And this enemy up here, that's game design that you can do. That enemy was placed there to be a minor nuisance and also to alert us of the fact that you can get up there, because it might not otherwise have seemed like you could get up there. Let's call this one a video, and when we come back next time, I'm done with talking about drunk Zhang Fei, I think. So we'll move on to talking about sober warlocks who are trying to destroy us. Bye.